Dear students, welcome to this digital lecture series. Today we are going to see the topic of relativity, and in that we are going to see the Lorentz transformation. So what are transformations? They are the set of equations that give the relation between the position and time coordinate in one frame of reference to the position and time coordinate in the another frame of reference. Now, since these transformation equations are given by Lorentz, they are called the Lorentz transformation. Lorentz transformation equations, they are based on the postulates of special theory of relativity. Now, what led to the formation of postulates of special theory of relativity? We have seen that the Michelson-Morley experiment was a big failure. It did not produce the desired or expected result, and many scientists had given or proposed their own explanations for the failure of that experiment. And one of the important or famous explanations regarding the failure of Michelson-Morley experiment was given by Einstein, who stated that the experiment failed because the speed of light was not taken to be constant in that experiment. It was taken to be different in different direction, where the fact is that the speed of light is a universal constant. This explanation was given by Einstein. So, this led to the two postulates of special theory of relativity. The first postulate is called the relativity postulates, and it states that the laws of physics are invariant or they remain same in all the inertial frame of references. Now, these inertial frame of references, they may be at rest or they may be moving with a constant velocity with respect to each other. Whatever may be the position or state of the inertial frame of references, the laws of physics remain same in all the inertial frame of references. Or in other words, all the inertial frame of references, they are equivalent with respect to the laws of physics. So this is the first postulate of special theory of relativity, that laws of physics are same in all inertial frame of references. They are valid in all inertial frame of references. The second postulate is called the speed of light postulate or invariance of speed of light. This postulate states that the speed of light in vacuum as measured in any frame of reference is a universal constant and it has the value c. C has the value c is equal to 2.998 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. In most of our studies, we are taking the speed of light approximately equal to 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. Now, the speed of light in vacuum, it is independent of the state of rest or the state of motion of the source of light or the observer. Whatever may be the state of the source or the observer, the speed of light remains same. Now let's see the Lorentz transformation. Lorentz transformation are the equations in relativity physics that give the relation between the position and time coordinate in one frame of reference to the position and time coordinate in another frame of reference, moving with a relative velocity between them. So consider these two frames of reference. One is shown in black and the other in red. So this shown in black is the S frame of reference and in red is the S dash frame of reference. The S dash frame of reference is moving with a velocity v along the positive x-axis. And what are these things in the bracket? X dash, Y dash, Z dash, T dash. They are the position and time coordinate of the point P in frame of reference S dash. And X, Y, Z, T. They are the position and time coordinate of the point P in frame S. At time t is equal to 0, t dash is equal to 0, means initial time. The origin of both the frames coincide with each other. Now, if the frame S dash moves with a constant velocity v along x-axis, then after time t, frame S dash, means this frame had moved a distance v into t, distance ahead of the frame S, and this is shown in the figure, this particular figure. Now, just now I have mentioned that x, y, z and t, they are the position and time coordinate of the point P in frame S, and x dash, y dash, z dash, t dash are the position and time coordinate in frame S dash. Now after time t, the frame S dash has moved a distance vt along the positive x-axis. So the relation between x and x dash can be given as x dash is equal to beta times x minus vt. This is equation 1. And if you observe that figure, you will notice that x is greater than x dash. Now I have mentioned that the velocity v between frame S and S dash is a relative velocity. So for an observer in S dash, the frame S appears to be moving with a relative velocity minus v along the negative x-axis. So the relation between x and x dash, it will be x is equal to beta times x dash plus vt. This is our equation 2. Now multiply equation 1 and 2. If you do so, then you will get x dash is equal to beta square x dash plus x into v t dash minus x dash vt minus v square t dash. This is our equation 3. But according to the postulates of relativity, special theory of relativity, the velocity of light is a universal constant. It has same value c in all directions in any frame. Therefore, the time t in S frame, it will be given by t is equal to x upon c, distance upon velocity is equal to time. But the time t dash in frame S dash, it will be given by t dash is equal to x dash upon c. Why? Because with respect to frame S, the x coordinate is x, but for frame S dash it is x dash. So if you put these values in equation number 3, you get x dash. This is equal to beta square x dash plus x v. Now instead of this t dash, I am writing x dash upon c minus x dash into v. Instead of this t, I am writing x upon c and I am substituting the values. t is equal to x upon c, t dash is equal to x dash upon c for this t and t dash. So I get this particular equation. Now, see these two terms. If you observe these two terms, they cancel each other. And what is left? X dash is equal to beta square x dash minus v square upon x upon c, x dash upon c. So if you make the rearrangement, you get this equation, and finally I obtain that beta square is equal to 1 upon 1 minus v square upon c square. Beta square is equal to 1 upon 1 minus v square upon c square. So beta is equal to 1 upon under root of 1 minus v square upon c square, where what is this v? It is the constant velocity with which the frame S dash is moving with respect to frame S. So now t dash, that is the time of an event at the point P in frame of reference S dash. T dash is equal to x dash upon c. And from equation 1 we have seen that x dash is equal to beta times x minus vt. So if I make the substitution, I get t dash is equal to beta times x minus vt divided by c. So t dash is equal to beta. So I am dividing this x by c and this vt by c. And I am putting the value of t. T is equal to x by c. So if I solve this equation, I get t dash is equal to beta times t minus vx divided by c square. This is our equation 5. So this gives me the Lorentz transformations as x dash is equal to beta times x minus vt, y dash is equal to y, z dash is equal to z, and t dash is equal to beta times t minus vx divided by c square. This is our equation 6. Equation 6 gives the Lorentz transformation. And what is its physical significance? It relates the position and time coordinate in S dash frame moving with a velocity v with respect to frame S with the coordinates x, y, z and time t in frame S. Now, I can also write the same transformation equations with respect to frame S. So if I write this, what I have to do, I have to substitute the primed quantities. Primed quantities means these dash quantities by the simple quantity, and instead of negative v, instead of minus, I have to take the positive, or I have to change the sign of this velocity v. So the Lorentz inverse transformations can be obtained as x is equal to beta times x dash plus v into t. What I have done? I have changed x dash by x. I have changed x by x dash, and this minus sign I have changed by plus. And since there is no change in the y and z coordinates, they remain same. Y is equal to y dash, z is equal to z dash. But in time t, in frame S, I get the relation beta is equal to t dash plus vx dash upon c square. So this is our equation 7. It gives the Lorentz inverse transformation. Now remember that this beta is equal to 1 upon under root of 1 minus v square upon c square. So Lorentz transformations and its inverse can be obtained. They relate the position and time coordinate in frame S and S dash. Now Lorentz transformations, they are true only when the body or the frame is moving with a speed comparable to the speed of light. Now, if the speed of the body or speed of the frame, this v, is very less than c, then what happens? This quantity v upon c square will be very small, it tends to 0. This quantity v square upon c square is very small, it tends to 0. So in that case, we can see here that if this quantity v square upon c square tends to 0, means it becomes 0, beta is equal to 1. So we obtain that for smaller velocities of the particle or the frame, v very smaller than c, beta tends to 0. And in that case, the Lorentz transformation, it will be converted to the Galilean transformations. We have seen the Galilean transformations, x dash is equal to x minus vt. Now, for Lorentz transformation, we had x dash is equal to beta times x minus vt. For smaller speed, v very smaller than c, beta tends to 1. So we get x dash is equal to x minus vt. So Lorentz transformation gets converted into Galilean transformation if the speed of particle or the frame v is very smaller than c. So what is the difference between the Galilean transformation and Lorentz transformation? Now in Galilean transformation, the observer in frame S and S dash will compute the same time t for an event at any particular point. So t is equal to t dash in case of Galilean transformation. But this is not the case in Lorentz transformation, which is based on special theory of relativity postulates. C is a constant in all frame of reference, and if you are using this concept, then for S dash moving with a relative velocity v with respect to frame S, we have obtained that t dash is equal to beta times t minus vx divided by c square. So t dash is not equal to t. Also, these two times are times measured for an event at a point P in frame S and frame S dash, that is t and t dash, they are not same. This is the difference between the Lorentz and Galilean transformation. But remember that Lorentz transformation is valid if the particle moves with a speed v. This v is comparable to speed of light. If this v is very small, then that transformation gets converted into Galilean transformation. So that's all about the Lorentz transformation. Have a nice day.